There she was, merrily skipping across the forest. The birds were chirping. The bees were buzzing. The snakes were slithering. And the rats, they were squeaking. She had a basket in her hand, and she was going when she suddenly tripped and almost fell, and the contents of the basket split onto the floor. She turned back, and she heard the stone that she skipped on speak. "Hey, lady, are you blind? I'm walking here." "What?" She turned back. "You're not a stone. You must be blind. You almost crushed me." And then she looked closely and she said, "Wow, you're a snail. But mister, I was under the legal speed limit in the right lane, and it is you who came in the way without any intimation." "Oh yeah? So now I'm supposed to intimate you? Do I send a smoke signal? I'm a snail after all." To this, Little Red Riding Hood had no reply. She said, "I have to be somewhere. I'll deal with you later." "Oh yeah? As if I'll be waiting here for you on your way back." Nevertheless, she collected the contents of her basket, walked onto the pathway, and made it to her, you guessed it, grandma's house. The door was slightly ajar. She pulled it apart, peeked inside, and whispered, "Grandma." "Oh, my baby, you're finally here. Come, come, come. What have you brought me?" With trembling hands, Little Red Riding Hood made it to Grandma's bed, took out 4 membership forms and 5 promissory notes, and submitted it to the grandma. 1, 2, 3, 4. "What? Are you mad? There were supposed to be 20. I told you don't come back until you have 20 membership forms." And then Grandma started inflating. Her eyes started bulging, her arms elongated, and 2 fans sprang out of her mouth. And she turned into Ralph P. Smedley. And he said, "How many times will I have to tell you I want more clubs? I want more forms, more members, more money? You should have come back. You should have come back. Next time you come back without 20 forms, I will eat you alive." Little Red Riding Hood collected the forms, reassembled her basket, and dejectedly walked out. She longed for the days, the simple times when the forest was not a district, and she was not the club road director, and she was just a normal toastmaster trying to dodge her icebreaker. On the way back, she again tripped, and yes, it was a snail, and who again squeaked, "Hey lady, I'm walking here." "Oh, I'll tell you who is walking here. You keep coming in my way. You haven't even moved. What's wrong with you?" "Oh, it's a long and tragic story. You see, once I could run. I could run so fast, I could outrun turtles. And I was merrily on my way when a witch tripped upon me. She was so furious, she cast a spell on me. And then I lost my charter. I lost my members. I'm trying to move, but I'm going anywhere. I'm in limbo." "Oh, you lost your charter?" Little Red Riding Hood teared up. She gently picked up the snail and said, "Oh Lord, what can I do to help you?" snail replied, "Marry me." "What? Marry you? A snail? Are you mad?" "Remember, lady, it is you who got me into this estate. We were so happy together, and then you abandoned me. You left me lying right here." And then it clicked. Yes, this snail was familiar to Little Red Riding Hood. And then she decided to do the inevitable. She walked the snail back to Grandma's house, where Ralph Peace-Medley was still ranting and raving, and told him, "I've got the solution to your demands. I want to get married to this snail." And Ralph said, "But will that give me 20 membership forms?" "Of course, just wait, just marry us and then you'll see." And so, Ralph Peace-Medley performed the marriage rites, and then they told the bride and groom, "You may touch each other." So the tentacles of the snail reached out to touch the fingers of Little Red Riding Hood, and that's the maximum extent I'm allowed to go in Toastmasters. And suddenly, the snail turned into a beautiful prince. He stood up and announced, "Behold, I am Storyteller's Toastmasters Club." Fellow Toastmasters, that is the story of my DTM project. When we set out to establish a Sunday club, the first step was to induct a team. And I'm so spoiled for choice in terms of having dedicated Toastmasters. So I picked all of them. I picked Toastmaster Imran, Toastmaster Rusa, Toastmaster Asghar, Toastmaster Rashid Distagir, and 2 Toastmasters from Zenith Toastmasters Club. And also, lest I forget, Toastmaster Majid Akhtar. We found a venue for the club. It was quite a good, reachable venue. We decided on the name, the initial executive committee. We had a very, very successful launch meeting. So successful, in fact, that when I walked into the meeting 10 minutes late, and yes, people who attended that meeting will attest to that, I was lost for words. I was near tears because I wasn't expecting a room full of eagerly waiting people. And over the course of 3 amazing meetings, all held by members of this club and other clubs, we managed to induct 4 members. And everything was fine and dandy. I wasn't concerned. I thought that within 2 or 3 months, we will reach the magic figure of 20, and the club will be officially chartered. But one thing was bothering me. And what was bothering me was the people who had paid the money for membership. Their money was just lying with me without them becoming members, because they couldn't become members until there was a club, and there couldn't have been a club unless there were enough members. So yes, that was the limbo that we were stuck in. And that, when it happened, a magical phone call from none other than Dr. Hamid. You see, the snail that I had helped grow initially was Al-Karam Toastmasters Club. And ever since I abandoned Al-Karam Toastmasters, the club was on the verge of death. The company had refused to support it. And so I had given it to Dr. Hamid because he was looking to establish a second Toastmasters Club in Hubco, the city office which is in Ocean Mall, and hence the name Ocean's Toastmasters Club. But then he decided that he wasn't about to marry snails. Instead, he wanted a full-fledged handsome prince And so he told me, take away your snail. Take away the sick baby. Do whatever you want with it. We will establish a new club. We are not wanting for members. And voila, suddenly, we had a club. Just had to change the name and just has to complete a little bit of paperwork, which is not paperwork at all because it's done online. And the club is chartered, the club is up and running, and now we are in the process of inducting further members into the club. If you want to meet the handsome prince yourself, it's very easy. Just visit Caesar's Towers, 15th floor, every other Sunday at 4th floor. And don't forget the meeting charges of 300 rupees. Over to you, Mr.